All right, listen up. You know that feeling, right? That simmering rage when someone cuts you off, or the sheer annoyance when your internet decides to play hide and seek right when you're about to win? Or maybe it's just the sheer absurdity of life itself that has you wanting to scream into a pillow. We've all been there. And guess what? It's costing you. It's costing you your peace, your energy, and honestly, a good night's sleep. But what if I told you there's a cheat code? A way to navigate the chaos of daily life without losing your cool, your mind, or your perfectly good Tuesday? Today, we're not just talking about not caring. We're talking about strategic indifference. We're talking about building an inner fortress so strong, so impenetrable, that external annoyances bounce off you like rubber bullets. By the end of this video, you won't just be unbothered. You'll be unshakable. And your life? It's about to get a whole lot smoother. Let's dive in. 1. The give a damn budget. Your emotional CPA. Think of your emotional energy like money in a bank account. You only have so much to spend each day. Are you really going to blow half of it on a barista who got your coffee order wrong? Or a rude comment from someone you'll never see again? No! You wouldn't spend your last dollar on a broken pencil. So why are you spending your precious mental currency on things that actively drain you and add zero value? This is about creating a give a damn budget. Seriously, write it down. This is financial planning for your soul. Allocate your emotional resources deliberately. What truly deserves your attention, your passion, your occasional frustration, your goals, your loved ones, your craft? Absolutely. That guy who left his shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot? He gets nothing, not a single cent of your emotional bank. He doesn't even get a transaction fee. Every time you get upset, you're essentially paying a hidden tax on your peace. The key is tracking your leaks. For one day, every time you feel that spike of annoyance, write down what caused it. You'll find 90% of the triggers are external, uncontrollable, and completely meaningless. Once you see the hard data, how much money you're hemorrhaging on internet trolls and slow walkers, you'll naturally become stingy with your emotional wallet. When you consciously decide what's worthy of your emotional investment, you starve the petty annoyances of the fuel they need to grow. Try it. You'll feel richer immediately. 2. The empathy shield, deflecting negative energy. Now, this next one is powerful, and it might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. The empathy shield. Your competitor might tell you to expect people to be idiots. And sometimes, yeah, people do dumb things. But what if instead of immediate judgment, you tried a flash of empathy? Not to excuse their behavior, but to protect your peace. Someone cuts you off in traffic? Instead of "what an idiot," try the full thought extension. Maybe they're late for an emergency. Maybe they just had bad news. Maybe they're just having a terrible, no good, very bad life. Someone sends a one-word text. Perhaps they're just swamped or had a long day. Or maybe they lack basic communication skills and that's their problem, not mine. You don't need to internalize their struggle or even engage with it. You just need to acknowledge that their actions often stem from their own internal world, which has nothing to do with you. This isn't about letting people off the hook. It's about shifting your perspective so their chaos doesn't become your chaos. You're not absorbing their negativity. You're simply deflecting it by understanding its potential source. It's not kindness. It's self-defense. You are using their weakness, their inner turmoil, as a reason not to engage. It's like putting on an invisibility cloak against their drama. You see it, but it can't touch you. 3. The so what filter, mastering significance. This is your secret weapon against overthinking and self-doubt. The so what filter. Someone criticizes your work? So what? You made a mistake at the gym? So what? You didn't get that promotion? So what? This isn't about being dismissive of actual consequences. It's about immediately assessing the long-term impact. This filter runs 2 crucial checks. The 24-hour test. Will this specific issue impact my life 24 hours from now? The 1-year test. Will I even remember this specific issue 1 year from now? Most of the things that trigger our anger or anxiety are actually tiny ripples in the grand ocean of our lives. If the answer to either check is probably not, then apply the so what filter. It instantly reduces the perceived importance of the event, shrinks it down to its actual size, and prevents it from spiraling into an emotional meltdown. You regain control, not by ignoring the problem, but by putting it in its proper, often insignificant place. Practice this, and you'll find yourself shrugging off things that used to send you into a tailspin. 4. Observe, don't absorb. The psychological judo. Next up, observe, don't absorb. This is critical when you're faced with drama or someone trying to provoke a reaction. Your competitor talked about detaching from drama, and they're right. But here's the deeper layer. People bait you because they want a response. Your reaction is their reward. They are farming your energy. So, when someone starts stirring the pot, whether it's a passive-aggressive comment, a full-blown rant, or workplace gossip, imagine yourself as a scientist observing a curious phenomenon. You're noting their tone, their body language, the content of their words, but you are not feeling it. You are not letting it penetrate your emotional core. You're simply gathering data. Your goal is radical neutrality. A nod, a neutral, interesting, or even just a calm silence can be the most powerful response. Because when you don't absorb their energy, you starve their drama. They're left with their own frustrated energy, and you remain unbothered and, frankly, a little bit powerful. It's a psychological judo move. Remember this mantra: their emergency is not your urgency. If it doesn't immediately affect your health, security, or future, you are just an audience member, not a participant. 5. The soundtrack of your life. Reality is optional. Here's a mind hack that instantly changes your perception: the soundtrack of your life. Our brains are masters of storytelling. When something annoying happens, do you immediately switch to a dramatic, tragic soundtrack in your head? The violins of doom, the ominous bass? Of course, we love to dramatize. But what if you consciously switch the soundtrack? Someone being rude? Imagine the Benny Hill theme song playing in the background. A minor disaster at work? Cue up some calm, meditative flute music. The brain naturally aligns your emotional state with the ambient noise you perceive. It sounds silly, but it works. By changing the background score, you instantly change the emotional significance of the scene. You turn a tragedy into a comedy. You turn a source of anger into a moment of pure, ridiculous amusement. This technique fundamentally rewires your reaction loop. Instead of the trigger firing anger, it fires amusement. Control the narrative, control your reaction. 6. Embrace the imperfect, radical acceptance. Finally, the most powerful technique: embrace the imperfect. Stop waiting for the world to be perfect before you decide to be happy. The queue will be long. The customer service agent will be slow. Your plans will get messed up. These are not failures of the system. They are features of reality. The moment you accept that inconvenience is a guaranteed part of the human experience, you stop fighting reality. And when you stop fighting, you stop getting angry. This isn't passive acceptance, it's an active choice to find grace in the friction. It's the highest level of being unbothered. It's saying, yes, the world is imperfect, and I choose my peace anyway. That level of emotional maturity, that's what makes you unshakable. That's where the power lies. Your peace is not dependent on the actions of others. It is dependent on your acceptance of reality. 7. The two-step boundary hack. Now, for a deeper dive, let's talk about the situations where you have to engage. The people in your life, the toxic family member, the difficult client, the overbearing boss. You can't just ignore them. You need the two-step boundary hack. Step 1. The clarity statement. You must be crystal clear about what is and is not acceptable. Stop being vague. Instead of "please stop being rude," say, "if you raise your voice, I will end this conversation and reschedule." This defines the line before the irritation starts. Step 2. The immediate exit. The moment that boundary is crossed, that is your cue to leave. No second chances, no dramatic lectures. Simply and calmly state, "Since you raised your voice, I'm ending this now. We can talk tomorrow," and you walk away. This shows people that engaging with your drama has zero payoff. They learn instantly that your peace is non-negotiable. This isn't manipulation, it's self-respect in action. When you enforce your boundaries, you teach people how to treat you, and you drastically reduce the energy spent on fighting for respect. 8. The power of the pause. We often get mad because our reaction time is too fast. Something happens and boom, the anger takes over before the rational brain can even log in. To break this cycle, we introduce the power of the pause. When a trigger happens, the insult, the mistake, the delay, do this immediately. Stop. Do nothing for 3 full seconds. It sounds like nothing, but 3 seconds is an eternity in the emotional mind. In that pause, you do 2 things. Breathe. Take 1 slow, deep breath. This physically interrupts the adrenaline dump. Mentally label the emotion. This is annoyance. This is frustration. Naming the emotion objectifies it, stripping it of its power over you. The pause creates a critical space between the stimulus and your response. You move from being a reactor to a chooser. You gain agency. You stop being a victim of your own quick temper and become the calm, calculating strategist of your life. This single technique is the foundation for all other unbothered strategies. So, here's your final assignment, my unbothered friends. Stop reacting, start observing. Rebudget your emotional energy, and remember the "so what" filter. Life is too short to let background characters run your life. The power to be unshakable is not about having a perfect life, it's about having a perfect response to an imperfect life. Now go out there, be the main character, and enjoy the show. If this video hit a soft spot, hit that like and share button. It helps us reach more people who need this message. And if you're committed to building an unbreakable mind and habits that puts all these ideas into practice, make sure you're subscribed to our channel, because we bring you practical advice ready to implement in your day-to-day life. Remember these insights and the solutions, implement them today. Just pick 1 or 2 and do it right now. And for more deep dives into strengthening your mind and habits, check the rest of our videos. One more thing before we wrap up. Take good care of your mind and emotions. This is the most important asset you have and your biggest investment. Protect and grow it every day so you'll reach that next level you are aiming for. Remember, your mind is worth fighting for. See you in the next video.